All right, so the question on the table is, does artificial intelligence have to do with biblical prophecy? And I would propose that the answer is yes. And so we're going to go on into this video with that in mind. And I know many other people believe the same thing, but I want to remind us of some things that have come out within the last year or so. Namely, we're going to start with this guy. And if you don't remember him, I'm going to show you a short clip just so you can kind of remember. And if you haven't seen it before, then you're going to see it for the first time. So this thing behind me is called Proto-Clone. This is what humans are working on. They are trying to give robots a body. They are trying to give all the artificial intelligence that we have on our phone, you know, ChatGPT, Claude, all those things. They're trying to give all that technology a body. And so this is a, prototype, and that's why it's called Proto-Clone. But one of the things that they're working on right now with this thing is they are trying to teach it to walk, because walking is a very tricky task. Now, even though it seems tricky to try to teach these guys, we need to remember that these things, AI, artificial intelligence, they are constantly being trained. They have a simulation, and it is constantly, they throw them in any kind of world that they want to. Just imagine any kind of world. They throw the robot in there, and the robot runs, it jumps, it swims, it does all the things, and it keeps on failing and failing and failing and failing. And it does this for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It doesn't rest, it doesn't sleep, it doesn't eat, it doesn't need a break, nothing like that. It just keeps on learning and learning, and it's working out every possible scenario while you and I are going about our day-to-day life. Now that is important because that's what this thing is learning and training on as we speak right now. Now, with that in mind, I want you to understand that we are also being introduced to artificial intelligence actors. This lady behind me is not a real person. This is a thing that is digitally created by artificial intelligence. It is on a screen. She does not exist. And so they are going to insert this thing into movies, and she will do whatever the prompt is. And that is absolutely terrifying, but this is where we are trending. On top of that, you have artificial intelligence influencers on Instagram that have 2.3 million followers. You see, it says 22 Los Angeles robot. This thing is not a real person, but she's posting as if she is real. All the things, she is pretending to be a human, and that's where we're headed. Here's another one from a different country where this is the first metahuman over there that is powered by AI. Same thing, 174,000 followers, and down here you see all the images that are all fake. And here's another one, 238,000 followers on Instagram, and it says the world's first digital supermodel. Wow. And here are top AI influencers on Instagram. 8.1 million followers, 2.4, 388,000, 377,000. You see how many people are following these accounts. This one behind me is also fake. Now, this lady is from India. It's not a real person. This is all artificial intelligence, but she, and I say she because that's what I'm looking at. This thing is from India, and many people are following them. Now, the way that this might seem silly to you because you might have your eyes in your head and you see the writing on the wall and where this is headed, but there's a lot of people who will sign up to follow this person, pay this thing, and it's because they empathize with their personality because it's all programmed. They are programmed so that they can pull on human emotions. And so there are people in the world who love things like this because, number one, these things will not argue back with them. They will not, give any attitude. They will not, fight and give you nasty looks because that's not how they're programmed. They're programmed to pull on your heartstrings. And so because a whole bunch of men out there are seeing things like this, they may be enticed to date or even to marry things like this, and that's already taking place. And so if you put a body like this and you insert artificial intelligence into it, then it's going to become something insane and people are going to buy it, whereas other people are going to look at that as that's the most bizarre thing. But I'm saying all of this because I need you to understand where our world is trending towards. There are also concepts like this that are currently being worked on so that a human child can be born inside a robot body and carried up to full term. That's where we're headed. Now, I want you to know that nobody in their right mind would probably buy something like this, because if you zoom in, you see all the veiny, wiry things going on within it. But let's go ahead and watch another video where you see skin or modified or artificial skin that is put on top of it. And let's see what it could look like. So you see how easy it is to go from this something that's used to seem very science fiction, that used to sound very far-fetched, to going to have a robot that is literally very, very human-like, walking, the hands, the fingers, can move the head back and forth, all the things that you and I do. And now we have that in existence. It is currently being trained in a simulation non-stop. And you can see how close we are to that thing literally be walking around in our neighborhood sometime in the very near future with a body that looks like whatever you want it to look like, or whatever the creator wants it to look like. And so it will be looking like us, and it will be out there, and then it'll be injected with this artificial intelligence. Now, with that in mind, I want you to understand how close we are to achieving artificial general intelligence, because that's right around the corner. On top of that, we're right around the corner from achieving artificial super intelligence, right after artificial general intelligence. And so when you have this body that looks like ours and walks like ours and talks like how we sound, injected with all of that technology walking around, it is going to be a world that is unrecognizable. And there's going to be deception, 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 deception. We don't even know what's real anymore. If I didn't tell you that this was a fake thing, then we might not have picked up on it because of how good the artificial intelligence is. And so these things are very, very important to pay attention to, because it's letting us know what is right around the corner. And if we were to rewind 5 years ago, it seems like things were kind of moving pretty quickly. But now here in 2025, things are moving so much faster. It is doubling and tripling in speed every other week, it seems. We can't even keep up with all the news, but I need you to understand that this stuff, even though there's so many things happening on in the world right now, these kind of things are never going to slow down, because we are learning and learning and learning. We have models, ChatGPT, so many people are using it. They are increasing in their knowledge, which is Daniel 12. We have all of these things taking place right now. But this is very interesting. And one of the reasons why this is interesting to me is because of what is mentioned in Daniel chapter 2. In Daniel chapter 2, you have this very, very provocative verse right here. And so it says, "As you saw iron mixed with ceramic clay, they will mingle with the seed of men, but they will not adhere to one another, just as iron does not mix with clay." Now, there's so many ideas out there, and so I have no idea what the right answer is on this, but I am just proposing an idea to you. Now, the thing I want you to notice about this is it says they will mingle with the seed of men. In order for something to mingle with the seed of men, that means that whatever this is different than the seed of men. So whoever is going to be mingling with humanity is going to be different. But we learn down here that it's not going to adhere to one another. And so this, if you read the antecedent back in Daniel chapter 2, verse 42, you learn that the they is referring to the 10 kings that are going to arise during the tribulation time period. And so the question on the table is, what are the 10 kings made of? Or what are they, or who are they, or what are they going to be? Now, my own personal opinion, and again, I could be wrong, this is not an idea I had before. Now, many people believe in the Nephilim, could be something along that, like the DNA, the mixing there between, all the different things that are a possibility in our world right now. But I want you to consider, at least to consider, everything that we just talked about here in this video, where you have that robot that's being worked on that is going to be, have a human body on it that is all artificial. And if they are elevated to a king kind of position, that could be what this is talking about. I also want you to remember that it's not a far-fetched stretch of the imagination, because over in Albania, they already have on their parliament an artificial intelligence thing called Diella that is already calling the shots in their government. So she's not at the top of the government, she's in the middle of it, but is it too far fetched of a stretch of the imagination to see how that thing could be running the government at some point? I'm just saying, something to consider.